Hi guys. I hope you guys are having a blessed day. Um, it's a wonderful day in YouTube land today. Man, I'll tell you, if you guys are getting attacked, just feel blessed, because I'm telling you, when you start getting attacked, is through my experience, you are doing something right for the Lord, and the devil hates it. He hates it. He comes in to cause division and scatter the sheep, and destruction and doubt and shame and fear and everything else. But anyway, so I consider myself blessed today. And okay, so anyway, I wanted to share this dream with you guys. And so the dream is that now, first off, remember when when I have the dreams that I'm out on my grandma's ranch. I believe a lot of it has to do with Israel and what's coming, because my grandma, my great grandma, and my great grandpa had Jewish descent in them, and their last name actually is a sect of Jewish people that live in Germany. Is what their last name is. So anyway, this is how the Lord, when I find myself out on my grandma's ranch, like the time I seen the white horse with the unicorn costume on, and it had the horn. So that dream was talking about the little horn and the destruction that's going to be coming upon Israel and in the Middle East. But anyway, okay, so there was this barn, and it was my great grandma's barn. It's just ancient. It's been out there forever. And I walked through the side of it, and over in the corner, there was a whole setup. So like if you look at this picture of the inside of the barn, there's a loft here. And, well, this one's kind of done a little different, but usually on insides of old barns, or on the walls, there's like little ledges from the boards because there's no insulation. And so in the corner, there was set up like a glass display case, and there were old toys and stuff pinned on the sides of the walls and set up on display. And in my dream, I kept thinking, wow, there must have been an older gentleman that I perceived this, that owned a toy shop, and he stored all these toys. He closed down his shop and stored all these toys in this barn in the corner. And I looked past the display case and looked on the one of the boards on the wall, and there was like a newspaper article that had been clipped. It was an old one, and tacked onto the board of the barn. And I was trying to read it, but I wasn't allowed to read it. But I knew it had something to do about this man's business, maybe, I don't know. And so then my eyes kind of were drawn to a different area along the ledge of one of these boards behind the display case. There was a burlap sack of marbles, and it was probably a good sized little sack there, and it was tan, and it was a burlap sack, and the burlap was really rough. It wasn't like a flour sack. It was a little bit more rough than that, and you could see the woven design on it, and the end was bunched up, and it was laying there, and it had dust on it, and I was like, wow. I knew that those marbles hadn't been touched in a long time, and I knew they were antique. I knew that they had been sitting there for a while. And in my mind, I think I said to myself, now mind you, another thing too that I forgot to mention was there was the loft in the barn, and there was a big man standing up there, and he had his hands over the railings, and he was looking down at me the whole time. And everything I looked at, he was nice. He wasn't, like a threat. He was trying to help me, but everything I looked at, he was narrating what I was looking at. And he knew what I was thinking when I was looking at these things, and he was explaining, but I can't remember what he was saying, you guys. But it was like I was in his barn, and as I was looking at these things, he was narrating to me what I was looking at. And so I was looking at these marbles on the sledge, and I said, I bet you there's ox bloods and cat eyes in that bag. Now, I was like, ox bloods and cat's eyes. And it made me think about when, the temple and the Jews and their sacrifice on the altar of the bulls and stuff like that, ox blood. Because an ox is, it's like a bull or something. Anyway, and cat's eyes. And I remember thinking there's those old clay marbles in there too. And those shooter marbles, the bigger ones that they used them as shooter marbles, I guess. I don't know, but I used to collect marbles, so then I was like, wow, all this stuff's so old. And then there was a partition, because it was a big barn. There was a old wooden partition that went through all the barn, and there was another side of the barn, and it had like a little door, and I walked through that, and the guy was up top. He walked, and followed me and looked over the railing, and by this time I had a flashlight in my hand, and there were stairs going up, like right here, but it wasn't like a ladder. It was more like this picture. It was more, easily like you could walk up to a second story. And on the side of these stairs, in between the staircase and the wall, like this was an intricate staircase, I shined my flashlight in between this, and hidden behind these slats on the side of the staircase were tons of golf balls. There were these old golf balls. And he, I do remember him saying, yeah, do you see the golf balls? Make sure you see them, And then I was thinking, wow, how did those get there? How'd those get there? They were like someone was trying to hide them on the side of the staircase. And then I turned around and I seen that there was this bedding someone had put in there, and it was just tore up. The comforter was all dirty. It had hay on it. It was all just strung around, And then I perceived that there were these bad guys. There was a few of them, and they were running towards the barn. I couldn't see them, but it was like a flash vision that they were coming towards this barn. And so I got scared and ran back through the divider part and out through the part that I came. And then I was standing out there and I couldn't hear anything. So I ran back in there. Well, as I tried to go back through the door, the barn turned into a white, an older, big, white, beefy, those old metal Fords with the red stripes down the side with the campers on the back. And I actually did a nosedive straight into it. As I thought I was nosediving back into the barn, it went into this truck, this white truck. And that was the end of the dream. But I thought it was very interesting because, the scriptures talk about the storehouse. That's not the first time. It's like the third or fourth time I've had a dream about a barn. But the marbles were really interesting because they were like, one sister pointed out that they're stored in burlap. It was stored in a burlap bag, like a sackcloth and ashes. And the bed was messed up, and, and no one was sleeping in there. No one was resting in Christ. And the golf balls, I don't know. Me and another sister were talking about it. She was thinking that could be referencing something about she said there was something secret going on, that people are starting to realize that if Trump or Obama says he's going out playing golf, he's not. It's there's something secret going on. The devil wants you to think they're out there, but they're making plans for something. They're getting ready to do war, you know. People are taking the stage. Countries are taking their position, and I believe that this is a warning for Israel and a warning for America, especially when I perceived that there were ox bloods and cat eyes in that sackcloth bag. So, and anyway, so if you don't know what an ox blood looks like, it looks like that. And we know that the Jews will come in later on during the tribulation period. But, all right, you guys. That's what I want to share. Feel free to comment and pray about it and take it to the Lord. And I will talk to you soon. Have a blessed day.